talk about your hit on Richardson? I just got to hear from your.
Great call by Coach Zio. I didn't pick up the blitz. I saw daylight. I didn't break stride. I got a good legal hit. Celebrated with the crowd, my teammates, and it was a good feeling.
Your coach was just saying that you and Adisa have some similarities as a player. I guess, what is that like working with him? Does it make it easier for you guys to kind of play off each other, especially given how last year injuries and everything went with him? I guess, what is your relationship like?
Yeah, Dees, man, good guy. We bond off the field, as well as, like you said, have similarities. So, we just feeding off each other, both getting better every day, both having fun with it. And, like I said, man, great guy.
Are you having the camp that you wanted to have so far? Or do you feel like you're showing what you wanted to show?
Most definitely, man. This is my first true off season healthy. I feel like myself, feel confident. Just kind of letting it rip, man. Not thinking about rehabbing. Man. I'm just thinking about football, man. So I feel like I'm doing good. Just keep getting better day by day.
Yeah, to that point, Harp said he views you as an big upside guy, and he's like the way you play the camp and in the game. What's that been like for you? As to your point, you have not been healthy. You've been dealing with a lot of this since you've been here. Is it a boost? Is it do you feel like yourself again? What is it?
Yeah, man, it's God's blessing. Honestly, you can't predict what happens on the field. Every snap could be your last. So, every time you're out there, man, you just gotta smile. Control what you can control, which is your effort. Go out there, leave it out on the field, and ultimately have fun with it, man. It's a kid's game. That's what we're all doing, and the team's getting better.
What are some of the biggest strides you feel like you've made now that you're able to just focus on playing?
Just being free, being out there and going hard, and getting the call and just going 100%. That's what it was like at the pro level. Everybody's good. So, if you're hesitating, if you're thinking about anything other than like your true assignment, you're forward. So, yeah, man, just being free, man. Playing free, having fun.
We heard Tavia say that Matt Robinson's one of the smartest coaches he's worked with. Just what's been your impression working with Matt? What's he like in that room?
Man, he's a cool guy, man. On the field, off the field, and he got the mentals, man. He's an X and O's guy. Very detailed too. So, that combination of having Coach DJ, which is Coach Dennis, he's good with like the run stuff, brings the energy. Coach Chuck, man, he's a guru, He knows how to pass rush, he knows how to teach it. And then Coach Matt Robinson, he just kind of finalizes everything. And, our drops, just X and O's, man. Just that trio right there. So shout out Megan, man. She does a lot of work in the background, with the stances and just that whole group, man. They're doing their thing, to help us just get better.
Lots been made this offseason of the outside linebacker position, and how many the team can take.
Mm-hmm.
You bring back basically everybody, and then you add Mike Green to it.
Yeah.
How much have you had to sort of block that out and not kind of play the numbers game in your head and not kind of overreact to every practice like you need to, you need to press on every play?
I haven't heard nothing about that, honestly. I'm out here just get the call, play fast, have fun, and control what I can control, which is my effort, my attitude.
What have you thought of Mike Green so far?
Yeah, he's talented. Real talented, and also off the field, he's a very personable guy. Somebody you can have fun with, always crack a joke or two. Really good guy, man. Happy guy.
Did you do anything in the off season in terms of prepping for this season that was different than maybe in the past? I know you had injuries in the past, but was there any different approach to anything? Training or anything?
Nah, I just work on my flexibility, strength, and then of course, I got in Matt Robinson's corner, man, with the X's and O's of the game, because all of us are good, all of us are smart, all of us are physically gifted, but just to get that little edge, formations and stuff like that, take my game to the next level. So yeah, just more IQ prep.
Dave,
Sure.
I'm curious how much you root for CJ Okoye, another Nigerian guy. You know, how much you play ball in the preseason game? How much do you root for a guy like that?
Man, big CJ, man, that's my brother, man. He's come a long way. You know, all the odds are stacked against him. He's new to the sport, kind of like how I was, but he just keeps grinding, man. So, you know, all it is for him is confidence and knowledge. 'Cause he got a God body for football. You know, he was built to play football. So as soon as he gets that confidence up and knowing the call, knowing what to do, and just knowledge of the sport, man, the sky's the limit, honestly.
Dave, you mentioned next level. What does that look like in your mind for you, for your game,
My game,
for
man,
that next level?
everything, you know, from run dominance to pass dominance to even dropping. You know, our position we drop too, so you know, just being versatile, man. Just being able to be a 4-down player, not just first, second, or third. You know, just be on the field, do my drive, be productive, come off, and then next.
Two more for David.
David, you joined Namdi and Odafe in the off season to go back to Nigeria. How meaningful was it for you to go back and give back home to the kids at home?
Man, it meant everything. You know, that whole trip gave me perspective. Just how blessed we are, man. You know, our complaints are their blessings. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I had a fun day myself, and I gave just T-shirts, bottles of water, and I had kids crying, just saying like, this is the shirt they're gonna wear for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? So it gives perspective. Like, look at us, man. We're at the castle. We got $1,000 cameras. Like, your phone. They wish they could have a phone like that. Just little stuff like that. It gives perspective on life. Like, we have no complaints in reality. We're too blessed.
Where are the slots?
Oh no, my personal shopper got pretty sick.
Is that a custom clothing brand for the headgear, or is that existing?
Honestly, this is from Pikesville. This one beauty supply store. Yeah, it got a little, like $3, man.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Thanks.